stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome in, everybody, to the SCL Winston Cup Series, brought to you by Robert's Ballscrew. I am Mike Timoni up in the booth. Joined with me tonight is a new face here, and that is going to be Colin. Colin, man, how's it going?
It's going, Mike. I'm pretty stoked to be here at Twin Ring Motegi.
Yeah, Motegi is one of the more interesting tracks we have here, and SCL seems to just love to come here every once in a while. It's one of those egg-shaped tracks. These guys are done with qualifying here. We are set for 100 laps around this track. Let's go ahead and jump over to the grid as these guys are getting ready to get in their cars. Last week, well, not last week, the last time we were on the track before the holiday break, we went nighttime racing at Talladega. All the light, I mean, as soon as the sun went down at Talladega, all of the light was gone. So these guys finished under the under the darkness there. Maxwell Caldwell was able to get the win. He is going to be on the pole here. Waiting for them to grid up here. But Maxwell Caldwell, Andrew Polici are going to start on the front row. Justin Lewis, Trevor Dalton in row 2. Yarborough and Ronnie Hurst make up row 3. Todd Merkel, Jason Crumley in row number 4, with Josh Turthill and Adam Lowe rounding out the field of 10 drivers that are going to take part here tonight. The weather tonight is 66 degrees, track temperature 65, ambient air, so nothing's going to change too much there.
Beautiful weather. Low wind.
Yeah. And so last week was a little interesting. They had it set for a little bit of nighttime racing, but not where it was going to just wind up in the dark. But that allowed Maxwell Caldwell to get a race win, and he jumps up into second in the points with 13:51. But Andrew Polici has the lead with 2 wins, 13:65, and Justin Lewis 13:46. Those are the top 3, and probably the only 3 you're going to see. So 100 laps, 50% fuel. We'll see what these guys can do here. Well, and I know that you have not raced here. Have you seen any races here on the service?
I have not seen any races here on the service. I'm actually really looking forward to this. It's a pretty unique track that you mentioned, the egg shape to it.
We are green flag racing right away here tonight. Leachy with the jump on Caldwell. Caldwell gets the inside line. Justin Lewis right behind him as they head off into turn number 1.
Looks like everyone got an awesome start there. Almost some bumping and shoving from cars further back.
The way it looked like they were running in practice almost looks like it's pretty much a one-lane track because it's kind of that flat oval. It is, after all, over in Motegi, Japan is where Twin Ring Motegi is located. You see Polici go down, try and go down to the inside, but nothing really doing there. Trevor Dalton running about a lane up as well.
I think early on track position is always key when you've got one line that comes to life and the others can't really get going.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit later you might see some drivers kind of go up a little bit higher on the track in the corners, but right now you can see it's almost single filed out. Looks like Todd Merkel got a little high in there. It's going to allow Adam Lowe to duck to the inside and make the pass. Motegi has actually hosted a NASCAR race before. It was an exhibition NASCAR race back in 1998, the Coca-Cola 500, which Mike Skinner was the winner, driving for RCR.
It's pretty awesome that they chose to go out to Japan for that.
Although driving away now, over a half-second lead. Yeah, you almost think with them talking about Mexico and stuff that it was one of the first times that they went overseas, but they've done it a couple times. But
So Justin Lewis and Trevor Dalton, tight battle for that third spot.
Yeah, Justin Lewis is one of the more dangerous drivers in this league. He was leading last week before the lights got shut off and Maxwell Caldwell was able to get by. Who else is kind of battling on track? Looks like that's pretty much the only battle we see on track. Looks like Ronnie Hurst might be trying to make a move here on Todd Merkel, but kind of gliding around here in that J&M Group Industrial Services number 22 machine, one of the title sponsors for this race, for this league.
It certainly looks like Ronnie Hurst wants to get around Todd Merkel and just can't quite make it happen.
I think this is going to be one of those races where it's going to matter how much you take care of your tires with how flat that track is. The banking and the turns are almost nothing compared to the tracks you're used to seeing over here.
Yeah, it's like short track banking, but just on a mile and a half.
First almost got it there, just not quite able to make the pass.
It's on through.
'Trevor Dalton falling in line behind Justin Lewis.
Yeah, all these drivers certainly have good pace. Just like you said earlier, that one line is really where you have to be, and overtaking is going to be definitely tricky, few and far between.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a harder track to make passes on. We see Trevor Dalton closing in on Justin Lewis, but as we even saw back there with Ronnie Hurst and Todd Merkel, it's going to be a mistake that's going to wind up costing somebody position here. Scarborough, Lowe, Dalton, Lewis all kind of battling here within a half second or so of each other. Laps in the books here. Caldwell leading every lap so far.
Oh, Adam Lowe sets his personal best, 35.73.
Fastest lap of the race is a 35.59, not by the leader. It's by Andrew Polici back there in P2. He's got quite the gap between himself and Justin Lewis now. Almost a second, but he is losing time to Maxwell Caldwell as well. Adam Lowe pulls down to the inside, gonna try and get by Yarborough here. He'll do it on corner entry. See if he's going to be able to hold it through the exit. And it looks like he will do just that. Slides up in front of Yarborough. P5 for Adam Lowe.
Maybe that's just a matter of tire preservation early on.
Like everybody's pretty much, they're running almost identical lap times, all within, I mean, even right now the fastest lap that time was a 35.83, and the slowest, minus the 3 in the back, was like a 36.08. Oh, I mean,
Yeah, to that lap that both clicked off of 36.08, so that's still on pace with the leaders. There's been some fluctuation lap to lap, a little bit more than I would have expected.
it looks like it depends on where they're running exactly, because they seem to be able to gain a little bit of time one lap, and then they just basically give it right back the next lap. Let's see if we can take a look here with Caldwell, so you see how he's getting around the track. Just burping the throttle through 1 and 2. On it out to the wall. Downshifting through the tighter corners down here on 3 and 4. Right back to the throttle again.
One thing I still struggle with, Mike, is downshifting in a cup car on an oval.
Yeah, definitely. You have to definitely time it right, because if you downshift at the wrong time, they're pretty easy to lose control of too.
Yeah, you can really upset the back of that car.
Yarborough, Adam Lowe going back and forth once again. Yarborough on the inside, Lowe on the high side, and Ronnie Hurst looking to pounce.
Ooh, as we see Adam Lowe deciding to go into the pit lane.
So it is 55% fuel. I do believe this is one of their, what do I want to call it? Strategy inducing races, where they limit the amount of fuel so everybody can kind of figure out where they want to be and have a little bit more of a option on pit strategy and such. So you might be short pitting this lap, and maybe you can make some time here and come out in front of the leaders when they have to pit a few laps later.
Maybe this is one of those scenarios where you burn up your stuff for a 4-stop, and you try to save some fuel and do a 3-stop.
he is back out on track. He comes out right in front of Yarborough once again. So just a lap down, but still in front of Yarborough. Looks like he made that a fuel-only stop. He was only on pit lane or in his pit box for 7.8 seconds. So
I wonder if that's fuel and right side tires, maybe.
that could be. Yep.
These center lock wheels on these Gen 7 cars. It's pretty quick for tire changes.
Yarborough coming down. Let's see if maybe we can take a look, see what he's doing. Long way down the pit box here.
Oh wow.
Both sides go up.
Yeah.
Like
Fuel only. Yep. Ooh. A little bit of a loose moment further back.
Trevor Dalton. Got by Justin Lewis there. I think that might have been a little bit of looseness we saw. We'll see how far these leaders elect to push it here, or they're going to have to make it at least 7 more laps or so, 8, to make it a 3-stop instead of a 4-stop race.
And Joshua Yarborough, if I'm not mistaken, much quicker on pit road than Adam Lowe.
Yeah, it looks like he was about a half second quicker. You see the gap between Yarborough and Lowe is about that, a little over that, about a second.
And that was just on entry and exit, because their pit stop was almost identical.
When you have to drive so far down that pit box or pit lane anyway to get to the pit boxes, when there's 10 cars, you don't get that, make it halfway down pit and then halfway out. But while all that was going on, Caldwell and Pulici are getting a little bit closer together. That gap is under a half a second now. Lewis. Ronnie Hurst is the next car on the lead lap, but he is almost 2 seconds behind Justin Lewis. Todd Merkel's almost 7.5 behind Ronnie Hurst. Jason Crumley and Josh Tart-Hill back there in 8th.
Andrew Pulici is in.
Yeah, Pulici comes in almost a little late there. Got a little tight there with the dividing wall between pit lane and the track. Sounds like Trevor Dalton's going to be coming down this time too. See how long Pulici stays in his stall.
Oh, that's quite a long stop.
You say 4 tires. 15
Yep.
seconds, 4 tires. Caldwell in. Justin Lewis stays out though. Justin Lewis is only drivers left on track to not pit. You got Jason Crumley and Turret Hill back there. Everybody else is in. Caldwell, Dalton, Hurst, and Merkel.
It's going to be really interesting to see how these pit strategies play out later for those drivers that just have fuel on, every 20 laps versus coming in on 30, 32 laps and taking 4 tires.
Well, I wonder if somebody's going to have to try and make it a little bit farther. I mean,
Ooh, Trevor Dalton, I think, is 2 tires and fuel, or maybe just fuel only.
8.5. Yeah, he was. And he was. Yeah. Pit lane times of 20 or 42.95. Like, wow. Like Justin Lewis did the same thing there. 8.9 in his box. Like right side tires and fuel. Caldwell, it's like 4 tires as he was in there for almost 15 seconds. Now Crumley and Turret Hill both come in. Right now that leaves Trevor Dalton up front with Andrew Polici and Justin Lewis racing almost side by side.
Generally speaking, green flag pit stops tend to really shake things up and spread the field out, but these pit lap times are so close to the running times that, you come out of the pits a lap down and you're right back where you were on track.
Well, what's interesting is the gap that Polici and Caldwell were able to get on the field allowed them to spin 6.5 seconds longer in their on pit lane to get those 4 tires and fuel, and now they're just driving back through the field again. Well, at least Polici did. Caldwell looks like he got stuck a little bit back here as he is trying to reel in Justin Lewis, but with that being said, let's go ahead and step aside real quick. We'll go side by side. You won't miss anything. We'll be back right after this.
What's going on, everybody? It's Tillman with the Landscape Company, and I'm here to tell you that we specialize in transforming both commercial and residential spaces into stunning landscapes. Whether you need a property maintenance, mulching, or expert design crew, we've got you covered. As a small family business, we pride ourselves in putting our customers first, and your satisfaction is our top priority. Ready to elevate your outdoor space? Call us today at 757-724-7097 for your free quote. And remember, when you call, tell them Tillman sent you. TLC VB, your trusted partner for all your lawn and landscape needs.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the J&M Group Industrial Services Winston Cup Series presented by Roberts Ballscrews. We are getting close to that halfway mark here, and Andrew Polici is going to be under attack here from Maxwell Caldwell. Both of these drivers came down on lap 29 and 30 respectively and took 4 tires and fuel, and now they are driving away from the field.
Yeah, this is quite the battle up front, Mike. Just in a league of their own.
Yeah, they definitely are. Adam Lowe coming down pit lane once again. He was the first driver to make that break down pit lane. Came down on lap 22 last time, lap 44 this time. So looks like he kind of has it planned out in his mind what he's going to do. Wonder if this time it's going to be 4 tires and fuel, or if it's just going to be another one of those quick fuel-only pit stops here.
Seeing the pace of the leaders, it would be pretty wise to take tires this time.
And it looks like he will do just that. 15 seconds in the box. Caldwell and Polici are pretty much the class of the field here tonight. They have a 3.5-second lead back to Trevor Dalton, and Dalton is getting a little bit of pressure here from Justin Lewis. But before we went to break, Maxwell Caldwell was behind. Well, now
Maxwell Caldwell's in the pit road.
I say Maxwell Caldwell just came down pit lane. That is interesting.
That is interesting.
Even with the way they were running, okay, all the drivers came down 30-ish or so laps. So he basically ran his 10 laps that everybody else is going to try and run probably towards the end of the race. He just ran them here. So I'm assuming this is going to be a quick fuel-only pit stop, and it is just that, as he spends 6.9 seconds in his box. So he is in and out in a hurry here.
Joshua Yarbrough's down as well. I believe his pit lap last was lap 23.
He was the second one down, so looks like he's staying with his strategy here. And we know nobody, if everybody ran to the end of their fuel run, nobody can make it to the end of the race. The farthest any driver went was lap 32 on their first pit stop, and that's going to be Jason Crumley and Josh Tarrant-Hill. And they only made it to 32, so there's no way, I believe, that they can make it to 100 unless they start saving a ton more fuel. But Crumley and Tarrant-Hill have been running at the back of the pack, running a little bit slower lap times, but not that much slower.
Looks like Maxwell Caldwell just made quick work of Jason Crumley.
And so with Caldwell pitting there, I imagine we're not going to see him come down pit lane again until, I'm going to say probably 75-ish, lap 75.
Well, we know he'd be able to make it from lap 70 to the finish. So it'll be interesting when everybody decides to make their final pit stop, when that stop is.
That time from Caldwell was a 35.81. Polici up front is a 35.99, but Polici's dealing with a little bit of, well, not quite lap traffic here, as he is looking to put Josh Tarrant-Hill a lap down. And the gap between Polici and Caldwell is almost 33 seconds right now. even
Yeah,
with
this-
that, Caldwell's pit lane time was 40 seconds. So he has definitely cut into that gap of Pulici there.
That traffic is not what Pulici would have been hoping for.
No, but it's like we were saying, you know, it's that one lane you have to almost rely on the other driver to make a mistake or have that little bit of momentum at exactly the right time in order to make that pass.
Makes me wonder if Max Caldwell just knew that they were going to be closing in on lap traffic and decided, hey, I'll pit now and not have to worry about getting held up.
I mean, right now he pretty much has the track all by himself. The closest driver is 3 seconds behind him or 5 seconds in front of him. So maybe it wasn't a bad strategy there. Maybe he's like, oh, I ran my 10 laps. I can kind of decide where I want to be and when I want to come down for my final pit stop.
Especially when you're making that fuel-only stop, you know you're going to be coming out roughly in the same spot.
Working through lap 53 here. Trevor Dalton. Trevor Dalton's closing in there on Kurt Hill as well.
Looks like Joshua Yarborough's closing in on Justin Lewis.
Yarborough looking to try and get by. Yarborough
That's
has
not for position, but Adam Lowe is, Joshua Yarborough's closest rival, so they're just trying to get their lap back from Justin Lewis. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Yarborough and Lowe both have made 2 pit stops. The last one looks like Yarborough on 46, Lowe on 43. We should be seeing probably in 3 or 4 laps, I'm going to say we should see Pulici and Dalton and maybe Justin Lewis in. Justin Lewis stretched it to lap 31 last time. Crumley and Turret Hill, they've kind of almost made their bed. They're going to try and spread this fuel run out as long as they can. If they can shorten one pit stop, they might be able to get back at least, inside that top 5 maybe.
Makes me wonder when, Max Caldwell's going to be on a very, very different cycle from here on out, having done that 10-lap stint.
Yeah, he's going to
So
come.
he might find himself in clean air for a while.
Yeah, he's going to come down by himself because I don't believe anybody else is going to be even remotely close to that. I mean, even if Justin Lewis stays out to the same amount of laps, he's looking to come down probably 62, 63 at the most. And I'd assume that Caldwell's going to come down, 70 or a little over, just so he knows that he has enough in case something were to happen in those final laps and we get that green-white checker. Maxwell Caldwell closing in on Merkel.
Man, what a gap that Andrew Pulici has out in front. Almost 9 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the only the only reason why he has that gap is because Caldwell came down pit lane. Looks like
Yeah,
Caldwell's
Trevor
closing
Dalton
in
just
here.
doesn't really have doesn't quite have the pace for them. And Justin Lewis further back with Ronnie Hurst in tow. That's probably the closest battle for position, other than Caldwell and Merkel, but they're on opposite pit strategies.
Yeah.
As Andrew Polici comes down pit road.
And Pulici making his way down.
Followed by Trevor Dalton.
Ronnie Hurst also down. Justin Lewis going to push it another couple laps probably.
Oh, big clutch in. He does the same.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
he's backing that up quite a bit. Letting it roll through
Huge
there.
fuel save. I think one of the big questions is, can you, over the course of the race, can you save 10 laps of fuel that way?
I mean, I think if you were doing that the whole time, maybe. Todd Merkel coming down
Right.
pit lane. I mean, he has no pressure. The closest driver is Caldwell, and he's 13 and a half seconds back.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely worth trying that super fuel save strategy.
Well, if I'm hearing what I'm hearing, let's go in here and look here. I've only seen a couple other drivers do what I think is happening. Yeah, he's shutting it off.
Wow.
Caldwell's 12 seconds back and closing in a hurry. Yeah, I think I just heard Justin Lewis saying he's coming down pit lane.
Yeah, Justin Lewis is in.
They made it 33 laps, so if that's the most you can save while you're doing what he was doing, he's still going to have to pit again.
Yeah. Yep. Even if you did that from the start, you'd still be missing a lap.
Justin Lewis in, Crumley, Tart Hill all in. Caldwell takes back over the lead with a 5-second lead at the moment. Almost 15 seconds back to third place in Joshua Yarborough. Adam Lowe about 15 back as well.
Looks like Ronnie Hurst and Justin Lewis were swapping spots. Ah, that makes a lot of sense.
Hurst was able to make that pass on Lewis as Lewis
Lewis was on pit road.
pit road.
I wonder if Caldwell, Yarborough, and Lowe will be stopping around the same time. as they've stopped on lap 45, 46, and 43, respectively.
Yeah, it'd be close, yeah. Yarborough and Lowe are about half a lap behind. But I bet Caldwell goes, I want to say he'll go to probably 74, 75 just to make sure he has enough in case something were to happen. But the nice thing about the race tonight is we're at a track that has lights. If you get bored and want some entertainment, go look at the Talladega race of this season, where we are basically in the dark. The only thing you can really see is the dashboard light from the Cup cars.
Looks like that backstretch is not as well lit as the front stretch and the turns.
Yeah, it looks like you have just a little bit of light there on the corner entry.
Yeah, 3 and 4 looks a little bit. If it gets much darker, I think some of these drivers might struggle.
We've got a minute. I want to thank the J&M Group Industrial Services Company for sponsoring the SCL Winston Cup Series, Michigan's #1 source for CNC and manual machinery repair services. The J&M Group, we've got you covered. Everybody's still staying out. We can take a look here, see how dark it actually is. Yeah, they definitely don't have lights on a lot of the track.
Yeah, and that's also one of those things where it a little bit comes down to your own personal settings for your monitor. It's one of the interesting things about sim racing is you could really adjust your monitor settings to give you an advantage if it does get dark like that.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about it as it was getting dark when we were talking to Caldwell and the other drivers who finished inside the top 3. They're like, well, I know on the broadcast it looks really dark, but we can kind of change a few things on our side to make it a little bit easier. But I mean, you see here as he's coming down the front stretch, I mean, there's tons of lights. You have a pretty good view, but on that back stretch, he does get a little bit dark there. Looks like he's still going to stay out. Adam Lowe comes in, though.
Makes me wonder if Justin Lewis is still on his fuel save.
I mean, maybe if he's doing it the whole time. Let's check in.
I don't think he could make it. Like we were saying earlier.
He's doing it.
Oh,
He is shutting it off, letting it roll. That is another one of those advantages where if you have that black box, you can get that done pretty quickly.
Oh, had to get on it before he wanted to there.
It looked like he was sliding up the track a little bit, maybe.
Got a little bit tight. That's one of the risks you run when you're trying to clutch in or shut the engine entirely, is the car gets really tight. If you come in with too much speed.
Well, Andrew Polici just came down, and Caldwell is still out.
Maxwell's coming in.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm assuming as soon as Polici came in, he was going to come in. He does not want to lose that gap he built up. Polici looks like 4 tires in fuel. Trevor Dalton's going to take over the lead, though. Last pitted on lap number 60 for Trevor Dalton there.
It's certainly getting dark on that backstretch. Oh my goodness.
I don't even see any lights up anywhere there. But
Looks like the backstretch is lit just on entry to turn 3. And, you know, it's interesting that turn 3 and 4 and, you know, all of turn 2 are not lit. About middle of 1 and 2 is lit.
and everybody on the radio making comments about that it's too dark to race, especially, I'm assuming, the leader.
Wouldn't that be something for Trevor Dalton right now?
I'm sure he would love that. But with that being said, let's step aside for our final commercial break. We'll come back. We'll bring you the conclusion here from Motegi as they look to wrap this race up half under the lights.
What's going on, everybody? It's Tillman with the Landscape Company, and I'm here to tell you that we specialize in transforming both commercial and residential spaces into stunning landscapes. Whether you need a property maintenance, mulching, or expert design crew, we've got you covered. As a small family business, we pride ourselves in putting our customers first, and your satisfaction is our top priority. Ready to elevate your outdoor space? Call us today at 757-724-7097 for your free quote. And remember, when you call, tell them Tillman sent you. TLC VB, your trusted partner for all your lawn and landscape needs.
Welcome back, everybody. Didn't miss anything. Trevor Dalton's still leading the race by 13 seconds over Justin Lewis. Justin Lewis trying to do everything he can to save enough fuel here to make it to the end of the race. Looks like Caldwell's closing in. He's about 5 seconds back of Justin Lewis. Has a little over 3.5 seconds on Andrew Polici as well.
I'm beginning to wonder when Trevor Dalton's gonna pull the plug and decide to stop. So, anytime now, you can make it from here on out.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like he's trying really to save too much fuel.
The last thing I want if I'm Justin Lewis is a car on my bumper in the dark.
Yeah, Trevor Dalton leading this, has Yarborough trying to make the pass.
Sorry, Dalton.
The the only thing that might help, Trevor Dalton or any of these other drivers that need to make that pit stop, Todd Merkel. Looks like Yarborough and Lowe both made their pit stop and are good to go here to the end of the race. They are a lap down though. It'll be if we got a late race caution. That kind of reset the whole field, and it'll just be a matter of who can win or who can drive the race. But you got Caldwell and Polici that have just been lights out, so you don't want to give up any of that track position if you're Trevor Dalton or Justin Lewis either.
And given the lighting situation, the last thing I'd want right now, personally, would be a late race restart where everybody's stacked back up and you can't see too well.
It definitely looks like this is set up more for a road course lighting situation.
Certainly does seem that way. It's great lighting if you have headlights.
Adam Lowe trying to get his lap back the hard way. He is closing in on Trevor Dalton. Looks like somebody's coming down pit lane. Trevor Dalton makes his way down pit lane. Justin Lewis is still out on track. I don't think there's any way Justin Lewis can make it to the end.
Yeah, I don't think so either. However, wouldn't it be cool?
I mean, he's not going to win the race because Maxwell Caldwell is all over him. Like, he is closing that gap with every turn of his wheel here. That gap was like, I don't know, 5 seconds or so when Caldwell came out of the pits, and it is now down to under a second.
As well as Polici, he's really shrunk the gap to Lewis.
And then you look at the gap from Justin Lewis to Trevor Dalton. It's almost 20 seconds, but when you're on pit lane, you're looking at a 40-second pit stop. So he's kind of made his bed here. He'll either finish inside the top 3 or he's going to finish probably 7th or so.
Todd Merkel makes his stop now.
And Caldwell has reeled in. Justin Lewis pulls down to the inside, but he is all over the bumper of Justin Lewis now.
My goodness. And here's one of those moments where you have two drivers driving the track very differently from one another, and the car behind is hopefully aware of just how much Justin Lewis is trying to fuel save and lift.
Yeah, because that is what's going to bring out that caution, is if Caldwell does not realize how far Justin Lewis is backing up the corners or how much off of the throttle or shutting off his engine he's doing here. Doesn't look like he did it that time, so.
Yeah. I almost wonder if Justin Lewis realizes what's happening right now and just has decided to, forgo that fuel save.
Let's jump up to Justin Lewis here. Yeah, it looks like he's still on the throttle, so maybe he got the okay from his spotter to get back on it because he did not shut it off that time. Either that or he knows that Caldwell is all over his rear bumper here. Inches off of each other as Caldwell makes that inside line work.
I also wonder how powerful the draft is on a track like this.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what Justin Lewis needs, is just to try and get behind Caldwell and ride around, but Caldwell is right foot down, looking for back-to-back wins here.
With a gap like that, I don't think you're going to catch much draft.
No, it kind of went away pretty quick there. 5 to go, handshake lap. Caldwell starting to run away with the race here. Polici trying to close in here on Justin Lewis. Justin Lewis is about 2.5 seconds up in front here, but Polici has 15.5 back to Trevor Dalton, so no real pressure here on Polici. Just needs to ride around the track. He knows that Justin Lewis is saving fuel, has to maybe come down pit lane, so no real pressure to try and get by. The only thing is, will Polici have anything for Caldwell in these final 4 laps here?
4 seconds is a tall order.
3 to go for Caldwell.
No way.
Caution is out.
Oh my goodness.
Out.
I can't even believe that. Justin Lewis just got... I don't know if he had enough fuel to make it the rest of the way, but if he did not, this was a godsend.
Yeah. Let's see if we can take a look, see kind of what happened here. Drove in, slid up the track. Oh, Yarborough went right down to the inside, but
no.
looks like Trevor Dalton kind of pulled to the left just a little bit. I think Yarborough just thought that that Dalton was gonna stay up higher.
There
Right?
a little bit.
Let's see if we can take a look here. Let's go to the nose cam. You can see Dalton start to go up the track, but then he turns right back down, tries to get on that white line, and Yarborough kind of stuck his nose in there. So Hurst gets the lucky dog. We'll rack him and stack him and get ready for 3 more laps here.
One green-white checkered attempt.
Yep. 1 and 1 alone here in the SCL Cup Series.
Now, Justin Lewis, as expected, has stopped for fuel.
Yep, fuel and tires. Trevor Dalton also in. Ronnie Hurst got his lap back. He is running P7 right now.
Now, Justin Lewis, Trevor Dalton, and, you know, unfortunately, Josh Terrett-Hill and Todd Markle, they're not on the lead lap. But Justin Lewis and Trevor Dalton now have fresh tires, enough fuel to make it to the end, and the cars ahead of them have 24-lap-old tires, roughly. This is going to be really interesting.
Trevor Dalton looks like he's trying to get in on the high side. Yarborough should be he'll slide down. I think Yarborough's taking an EOL, so he's going to be at the back of the pack. But Caldwell's going to lead him down to the green flag once again here. Coming down the dark black stretch.
The sneaking suspicion that Joshua Yarborough may have come over the radio to say, "That was my bad, I'm really sorry." Certainly wasn't something he was trying to do.
Pace truck should make that left-hand turn, and we should be getting good to go here as they come down the front stretch. Green flag is out. Maxwell Caldwell leads him on down, gets a jump on Andrew Polici.
I think Justin Lewis is going to make the top side work with those fresh tires.
4 wide back behind him, but we're battling here for the top spots. Justin Lewis trying to hold off Adam Lowe. Adam Lowe down to the inside. Side by side they go. Inches apart. Trevor Dalton also trying to throw his hat in the ring up here. We do take the white flag, so the next flag will end the race here from Motegi. Polici trying to push Caldwell where he doesn't want to be. All over that rear bumper.
Ooh, somebody tagged the wall further back.
It looks like Trevor Dalton might have got it just a little bit here, but they are still battling up front. One more corner. Will Polici be able to get it? Polici dives to the inside. Side by side they go. Caldwell wins at Motegi.
And Justin Lewis secures the podium spot on what was the most nerve-wracking fuel strategy that I've ever witnessed.
I'm going to say he's probably the only driver that was happy the caution came out.
Yes. Adam Lowe, the biggest mover, up 6 spots in this race.
Roll on down and park it on the front stretch here. Marco Engines 94 Chevy. Turning it down. Well, he does that. Let's see if we can jump over and talk to third place. Hey, Justin, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
I don't know. Good, maybe, I think, because I got saved with the yellow there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you're the only driver out there that wanted that yellow.
Yeah, I had like, so I think I would have been on the number if Max didn't exist, and then he did his whatever witchcraft he did to, well, he just basically took another pit stop in the middle of that, so he cut 2 in half, which was my initial thought, but I was like, I don't want to be the only one to do it. And then Max does it, I'm like, well, crap. So I was like, well, we already saved the first run anyway. Let's see if we can make it work. And I had to I was saving probably the best I have all race in that last run, to where there was a moment where I was saving fuel while keeping time, and then I was right at the number, so then I had to pick it up just a tick, and he was just eating away at it. And I'm like, I don't know if he's got better tire, which I thought he just did a gas and go that last stop. Well, he took tires too, so that didn't help. A fuel only for him probably would have made that a little easier on my part to save. But yeah, I hate this racetrack. I hate it. It's like a flat Darlington, which I love Darlington, but this place is just weird. It's not a fan of it. But all in all, that yellow did save us. I mean, when that yellow came out, I was at 0.4, so I was going to have to pit with like 3 to go for how I had to push there that last like 20 laps a little harder than I wanted to. So other than that, besides Adam racing me on the restart, I think I wouldn't have had anything for him anyway, just because this place is so hard to pass. Like, you can't do much when you get in traffic. The car changes pretty bad. It's kind of a crapshoot. Like, whoever gets to the lead is usually your go-to guy, unless you have a fuel strategy race that changes it a little bit and everybody's on different stuff. But I don't know. I'm just glad that this had more lights than Talladega.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not at dark, you know.
Yeah, leading the Darkness 150 at Talladega over there, and they're like, we're gonna do one more, and I'm like, I can't even see my face. Like, I can't see anything. Like, I'm literally turned away from my monitor and was like snow blind because I was just looking into the blackness. So I was like, all right. And then I think it was so bad at Talladega, you could only see the Sunoco sign on the front stretch.
Yep.
So, or entering pit road, I should say. So I was sitting there like, okay, what am I supposed to do here? And I'm like, I literally waited till the green because I couldn't see the restart box. I put it up by the wall because I could kind of see like the reflection of the fence. And I was basically counting on every traffic light. And the next thing I know, Max has somehow got his night vision goggles on and is running the right line and everything. I'm like, this is BS. This ain't fair at all. This ain't fair. And then I ended up backwards by somebody at some time. It was crazy. It was super fun until it wasn't. But thank God there was lights here enough to see. I think 3 and 4 would have got interesting. But,
yeah, it definitely would have.
But Max had a good strategy there. He should have won that race. He did win that race. So, or this race, I should say. And Yeah, I think if I didn't go from the save mode right away, I probably would have ran with him. I kind of wish I changed my strategy a little bit, but I tried something different because there wasn't that much of us, and that's that. I'm really hoping we get our car count up. It's kind of sad to see 10 of us in here on Mondays, but we did some recruitment stuff. We're still working on recruitment. This track's not really the best for car count normally, even when we did have our big group of people.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get that up. Other than that, yeah, that's about it. Just want to thank Todd with Merkle Racing Engines, Max, Andrew, Trevor in the chat. We always have fun together. We run pretty hard, and they make it interesting at least. But also thank Josh and Adam with the SCL. If anybody wants to race this league and you're watching, we're more than welcome to have you. We got couple requirements, but that's about it. Please join us. The more the better.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats again on your P3 finish, and we'll talk to you next week maybe.
Thank you, boys. We'll see you later.
All right. Get second place up in the booth here.
Hello, Andrew Polici. We got Colin and Mike in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. I could be doing better, but you know.
It looks like you gave Caldwell a real run for his money on that restart. So give us a breakdown on the race. How did things go for you?
Went pretty well. Started second. Him and I have just so close on pace that it was like a F1 race on that first run. Whoever got the lead was gonna hold the track position. It's so hard to pass, and I believe what was it? Tried to short pit him because I kind of forgot that we weren't running the full fuel tank tonight, and I was on a daze. I figured it was like a one-stop race, so I tried to short pit him to get the lead because I figured if I could just get in front of him, he's gonna have a hell of a time passing me. So I did that, and then he pulled the big brain move afterwards of trying to cut that run in half, and it was just trying to counter that for the rest of the race. And the best I could do on my last stop was just kind of come as soon as the window opened, and it got me closer to him, but it wasn't enough. And that restart, I mean, I'm lucky to finish as close as I did. It was a great fight. Him and I are buddies. I tried to move him up a little bit, but couldn't quite get him out of the way, and it made a cool finish at least. So it was a good race. Shame we got the caution. As much as I enjoyed the little battle at the end there, it was nice to go green.
Yeah, that was an exciting finish for us to watch, at least.
I bet. I haven't watched it yet myself. See it?
Yeah. When you see it, we were curious who was going to get that at the very end coming out of 4.
Oh, I wish I'd hit him harder looking at this. Oh, well. At least it was clean.
Well, congrats on a P2. Is there anybody you have to thank for getting you here tonight?
Oh, well, you guys up in the booth do a great job. Just wish you had more cars to broadcast every week. My teammates, Maxwell Caldwell, obviously, Justin Lewis, Todd Merkel, Trevor Dalton. Blast racing those guys every week. The admins for having me, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, you guys in the booth do a good job. Glad to be up here talking to you.
Thanks for putting on a great show tonight.
Thank you.
All right, now let's see if we can get to the race winner. Maxwell Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are y'all doing?
Not too bad. Well, tonight they can't complain completely about the darkness, but apparently nighttime is the right time for you going back-to-back here in the Cup Series.
Ain't that the truth? I kind of said that to the guys. I was like, is that kind of funny? The two unintentional night races are the ones that I can pull it out on. But I'm not going to lie. Motegi's actually kind of cool like this. You could still see plenty in 3 and on the backstretch. But, I mean, this was kind of cool. I didn't even know you could do this at Motegi at night. So maybe something the league looks into doing more often when they come here.
Yeah, it definitely was a little bit interesting there. But looks like your pit strategy is pretty much what won you that race until that caution came out. But you were able to battle it and bring home the victory. What was your thoughts going into the race, looking at that pit strategy you were trying to pull off there?
Honestly, didn't know until the last little bit of practice what the fuel was really looking like. Maybe the last 20 minutes I kind of saw it and was like, oh, we're going to have to really strategize this. Only had 2 sets laying in the pits, 100 laps here. Fuel tank was at 50 instead of 60%, so it really made that tight, which made for a good race, I think. I really think it made for comers and goers. You all saw different guys up in the lead. You saw different guys in different spots, and caused a lot of strategy there. But my thought was initially that I wanted to run just like 10 laps and then pit right at the get-go to go ahead and just be on the fresh stuff all the way to the end. But when I saw the darkness, I thought, if we're starting this late, I don't want to repeat at Talladega and then possibly having to call the race early, so I need to stay out. So the first run I ran, and then once I saw what the lights were doing, the second run I decided to do my strap, but instead of 10 laps, I did it at 15, just to have that extra insurance where I could go, where I knew I could go as absolutely hard as I would want to on that last run and have it. And you kind of see how that played out. And matter of fact, when I pitted that second time, it really opened me up to get some clean air because I was right behind Andrew at the time. And once I got that clean air, I was able to build that 4 or 5 second gap that y'all kind of saw there at the end get maintained.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of saw that you were in traffic there, and then after you made that quick pit stop, you were able to get that clean air and not have to worry about lap traffic or anything that Andrew had to deal with. But with that strategy, brings you a victory. As usual, anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Oh, man, first and foremost, cannot celebrate this win without thanking my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Man, he's so good. Great group of guys. I hate we only had 10 guys here tonight, though. Tried to do some recruiting in the holidays. It's just going to take a lot. The league's got to rebuild after running Xfinity last season, but still a great core group that you saw here tonight. These are your dedicated guys that like to come in, week out. And even though there was just 10, we did spread out, but I'd still say, at least for the win, you saw some pretty good battles out there from time to time, especially at the end. Especially the shove from the teammate there in 3. I don't know if y'all saw that, but that was pretty wild. I about wrecked it, but it was all good. But thankful for my Lord and Savior for allowing me to run with these guys. The teammates, like I mentioned, Andrew, Todd, Trevor, he didn't have the best nights there at the end. I think was involved in the only caution of the night. And then Justin, thankful for those guys. They always help push me to get better and better. Merkel Racing Engines for being on the car, man. Ever since I've been in SCL, he sponsored me. Came from Area 51 with me here. We both came together and been here ever since, and just finding success with that sponsorship. So thankful for Todd and his sponsorship there. And then for you guys in the booth and the league owners, man. You guys do an awesome broadcast. It's always nice to go back and watch some of these. And I'll definitely have to go back and see what different strategies people were on here and see what I'm going to have to do maybe going into next week to try to get this championship, because top 3 guys in points finished top 3 and all led a lap and got bonus points there. So it's going to be tight going to Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely is going to be tight. We'll see what happens, especially because I believe it's old Atlanta 2008, ain't it? So
absolutely. It's going to be slipping and sliding. Last time we were there, I think it was a different league. Justin did not have a good time in the next gens there. So looking to see if he can do a little better, and me and Andrew might be pretty doggone even there. I like, now that I'm used to these pedals, this new setup, finally, you heard me in other interviews saying I was adjusting. Finally got that feel I'm looking for, which we're seeing results now. Atlanta's been the best track, that old Atlanta, that I've really been able to feel these pedals and what they can do. So maybe that'll be an advantage going in. But hey, Andrew's got the same equipment I've got, so it may be a draw there at Atlanta. It should be a good show, though.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on the race win here, and we'll see what you guys can pull off at Atlanta next week.
Absolutely. We'll see y'all next Monday night.
All right, so that will do it for that. Let's go ahead and bring up the race results. Maxwell Caldwell, Andrew Polici, Justin Lewis, the top 3. Adam Lowe battles back and gets to a P4. Trevor Dalton, after being involved in the only caution, finishes P5. Yarborough 6th. Ronnie Hurst, last car on the lead lap, in P7. Todd Merkel, Josh Terry-Hill, and Jason Crumley round out the field. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up and get out of here tonight. And don't forget to tune in next Monday for championship night as they head to Old Atlanta Caldwell, Polici, Lewis, all battling for that championship. But from all the drivers of the SCL Cup Series and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I wanted to wish you guys a good night. We'll see you next time.